Gareth Davies, welcome to the show. Thank you for your time.
That's okay.
Gareth,
Thank
how are
you.
you? How's your business doing in COVID-19, and how did you experience it?
Yeah, well, it's very difficult times for everybody at the moment. But as a business, we're coping very well with it. Certainly, sort of our central ops in Cheltenham, they're all remote working. The entire office was shut down weeks ago before the lockdown, and probably 95% of people are working from home and still business as usual. So. Yeah, we adapted to that very quickly as a company,
Yeah.
and the majority of the workforce is out there, supporting the key workers, and sort of the important bit is keeping the UK pest free at the moment, because there is a massive influx of rats running about the place at the moment, for obvious reasons. But yeah, we're quite lucky. We've had no staff that have been hospitalised. We've had a few self-isolate, but as a whole, no, we're doing very well.
Superb. Can you elaborate a little bit further on what you just mentioned? I've seen you post an article on LinkedIn on the topic of rats and pests generally now exploding in inner cities and areas where people are not present anymore. Maybe you can say a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think obviously the pest controllers are always sort of at the bottom of the pile as regards key worker status, and thanks to sort of Henry and his good work in chasing sort of number 10 on that one. So thanks, Henry. He's worth a mention. But even customers didn't realise really that they thought they could just board up and shut down for 3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But when you start talking to the customers and making them aware of, pests don't go to sleep, and do you really want to open your doors after 6 weeks and your pub, restaurant or whatever is totally overrun and you've had cables chewed and beer lines chewed, you could be opening the doors to a horrendous situation, which, could take you another month to recover. So once, the facts were explained to customers have started to sort of give us keys in some circumstances for big chains, so we can make sure that their sites are pest-free, come the lift of the lockdown, which will hopefully be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that. Super. Yeah, I think that education is so important currently because a lot of clients, just are hanging in the midst of it and don't know where to go if pest control still needs to be performed. But I think that style of education is extremely valuable for the public. So thank you. I've seen your company doing a lot of that. Gareth, can you tell me a little bit more about Disinfectix? Terminix is known for pest control and many more services, but you are now publicly advertising your new service of disinfection. And you also, I think you founded the new brand Disinfectix, right? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
I don't think I can claim the founding of the Disinfectix, and that was certainly sort of released by our American friends, the next commercial in the States. It's a very good name, Disinfectix, which I think has also been registered now as well.
Cool.
We sort of jumped off the back of that name and we use that in the UK now. A very good name. And, if we think about it, certainly in the pest control industry, this disinfecting is nothing new to the pest control industry. We've done this for a long time through, if we get large bird jobs, rather than sending a technician in to remove a load of guano in a roof space, then we disinfect first, so there's nothing really new in this. Some of the disinfectant products have changed to make sure we capture what's required for this particular virus. But and you can't claim to kill this virus 100% because nobody can do that, because nobody knows the actual strains of it at the moment. But what we are certainly marketing is that we disinfect, and we'll take that school, public place, office block back to zero through either ULV treatment, fogging, and high touch point wipe down. And that's what we do, and we do it very well.
Perfect. Yeah, I think for some companies the disinfection is definitely something new. Of course, it always has been present in pest control, and not for everybody. I'm sure for companies like yourselves that are a little bit bigger, it was always a part of the big business. But of course, for some SMEs, it was nearly forgotten. But I think the presence of COVID-19 and the viruses and bacteria, etc., that we are dealing as pest controllers any day with, now highlighted and brought to our attention much more, which I think is at a place where it belongs. And I also think that us changing our course towards disinfection is definitely a win for the industry. Gareth, what would be your thoughts on the industry? I think your experience in your role, and you've experienced some crisis before. So what is your outlook? Of course, it's objective, and nobody knows when or ever things are going out of lockdown. But how do you think is pest control going to behave in the crisis versus, let's say, other sorts of industries that are currently now struggling?
It's a difficult one. I can only sort of speak for what we're doing in Terminix. Mm-hmm. But certainly many years ago, people would remember the sort of the foot and mouth episode. And, we were heavily involved in that, not through Terminix, but a previous pest control company where we had key worker status then. But yeah, I think, pest control companies can still, there's lots of furloughing being going on with some companies, but I think you've just got to think outside the box sometimes, that even though the smaller pest control companies, they can't get into some of their sites, understandably, but there's nothing stopping in checking the outsides of buildings, because as we know, rats are coming from outside indoors to look for harbouraging food. So, you've just got to, the smaller pest control companies that need to survive, they need to be looking at, servicing externally at some point, because that's going to give some protection.
Yeah.
As regards the lockdown, we're in it for another sort of 2.5 weeks. Yeah. Is this going to be extended? Probably, I think. I think they'll start, loosening the restrictions as regards bringing the economy back into play. And I think that will certainly be in the sort of the building, infrastructure, transport, and that kind of thing, to slowly bring the economy back up to speed. But unfortunately, I think, places like pubs and restaurants and sort of mass gatherings, that's going to be the last thing, because, social distancing is certainly going to be a big part of this going forward, to make sure we don't get another episode of the way it's affected us so far. So I think, the use of masks and surgical masks certainly are going to be a big part of our life for the next 12 months.
Yeah. Definitely, we sort of have to get used to a new face of people as per social distancing, what you just mentioned, a new face of people running around in cities, etc., probably for the next 12 months. Yeah, Gareth, super interesting to learn. Terminix is doing a lot of disinfection works. Also great to learn that you guys were assigned as key workers and that you're working proactively, supporting the UK economy. And last but not least, I want to go into detail and ask a question about what you personally publicly announced. I know you yourself are and always have been a strong supporter of the NHS in the UK, especially, and supporting the folks. So you thought yourself was something very special to support them. So maybe you can tell us what.
Yeah, well, I need a haircut. Yeah, I had my haircut in 3 weeks. I'm struggling. I'm putting far too much gel on my hair to hide my grey hair, for a start. So I thought, what can I do? I thought, right, let's raise some money. Let's try it. So I've decided to sort of shave my head down to a number 1. And then people have sort of jumped in and said, well, why not have a Mohican? I've said, okay, you need to donate more money then. And then some have come back, well, why not dye it green for the Terminix, green colouring. So yeah, all this is going to happen on Thursday evening. The kids
Thursday?
Thursday evening. The kids have taken great pleasure in ordering green permanent hair dye.
Oh, I believe that.
And then they're going to shave my head as well. So the pictures will be released on Friday. I have various video calls on Friday with our counterparts in the States and UK. So I think I'm going to get some shocked faces when I appear.
For sure. Unbelievable. Very cool.
We've raised so far. I've raised, thanks to the people who've sort of donated so far. I think we're up to sort of £700 in the first day and a half. So,
wow,
it's something, isn't it? I'm trying.
Yeah, cool. Absolutely. Everybody who sees the video, I'm going to link Gareth's post under the video in the description, so you can all still donate until Thursday. This video is going to come live on Wednesday, so we have some time.
Daniel, you've got some lovely locks there, so why don't you join me?
Yeah, maybe I'll do the same challenge and donate it to our German NHS. I definitely need to get a haircut as well, Gareth. Cool. Hey, Mike, to sum up, thank you very much for having a sneak peek into how Terminix is dealing with the crisis, as we see very well. Thank you very much for continuous work, and especially disinfectant works that help us very much, especially in the crisis. Pest control is definitely one of the businesses that is not economically affected, as we see per today. Maybe in the contrary, maybe it can even be some growth, at least for these areas, that are not like, the pubs that we're servicing, or, restaurants that are definitely having some weak maybe some bankruptcies even that are going to be filed. So we're going to see. But all in all, we got to admit, pest control is still very stable, and we're still very proud to work in it. Gareth, thanks for your time.
Okay.
Really look forward to Friday.
Yes, yeah, I bet everyone does except me.
Thanks.
Super. Thanks very much, and stay safe.
You too.